After England defeated the French at the Battle of Bremule, Normandy was back in King Henry's hands. But 1 year later, his good fortune turned to tragedy. In 1120, his son and heir William Adelin died in a shipwreck. The future of Henry I's kingdom was in jeopardy. Henry desperately needed a new heir. With no legitimate sons left alive, he broke with tradition and chose his daughter, Matilda. Henry forced his barons to swear an oath to accept Matilda as queen. But when the king died, they broke their promise. England would not be ruled by a woman. Matilda's cousin Stephen saw his chance and claimed the throne. The crisis moved to the capital. At Westminster Abbey, Stephen was crowned king, but Matilda wanted what was hers. She was also lining up powerful supporters who would fight Stephen for her right to rule. Their conflict engulfed England in civil war. Fighting raged throughout the land. In 1141, everything focused on one of the kingdom's most strategic cities, Lincoln. Matilda's allies had commandeered the castle. But King Stephen was determined to take it back. He besieged the castle. Stalemate. As dawn broke on February the 2nd, everything was about to change. Matilda's half-brother, Robert of Gloucester, raced to break the siege. As Robert's forces approached Lincoln, Stephen's army turned away from the castle to face them. Robert could win Matilda the crown, but only if his army could win the day. Robert of Gloucester's forces approached Lincoln. Their task, to liberate the castle from King Stephen's siege. While behind Lincoln's walls, troops loyal to Matilda held the castle for the Empress. First, Robert's forces would stage an ambush to prevent enemy reinforcements from joining with King Stephen's army. Robert's men concealed themselves in a sheltered grove and lay in wait for the enemy.
Hierwe for blood on ball.
Ich habe gefunden, Befo!
Ja,
Robert defeated the first column of Stephen's reinforcements, but he knew more were on the way.
Sua thuhetist.
Each sail to foe!
Aggreten förstår! Överlikskärgare! Utjobbetandes!
With more of Stephen's reinforcements eliminated, Robert was steadily undermining the siege.
Ich forthethin hess. Ich sua hessa aliata. What wilt thou? Ich forthethin hess.
Bandit! He's sending you me!
Robert's men decimated King Stephen's reinforcements and were poised to break the siege. Continuing the push towards Lincoln, Robert sent in a large company of reinforcements to aid his vanguard. To further weaken the siege, Robert would need to cut off Stephen's supplies. He targeted the nearby market town.
Intendeth al Suiza, yes.
Jonas Jare Toton. Men of armies,
Jereth Hestes. Tolka Suas e heta. Glidande ner hurteth no one never idal. On devotas, fereth.
Rallying to Matilda's cause, a large group of knights arrived at Lincoln to bolster Robert's army. With the market town in ruins, King Stephen's supplies began to dwindle.
Scout
Robert received word that Welsh troops under Matilda's banner were en route to join forces with him. But King Stephen had the roads to Lincoln heavily guarded, and the route was not without risk, even for the hardy Welshmen.
Scoutes, i sadelduppa.
Lukka jou vid Surtas. Alles with it. Ut readeth nu, Tulkas. Spilleth o'er of foemen.
Making their way to Lincoln, Matilda's Welsh allies were ambushed by the king's soldiers. Robert's men would need to aid the Welsh if they wanted their help in breaking the siege. Joining forces on the road to Lincoln, Matilda's allied troops made for the castle to lift the siege.
At me no word, Fereth. Andente to serve. He shall lay the yow. Ich live to hear him. Alles with it. At me no word, Fereth. Duty is none burden. Fourth warde frekes, mid baldenes. Certes. Andente to servant.
Robert's forces spotted a large detachment of Stephen's soldiers guarding the castle gates. If they hoped to liberate Lincoln, they would need to break the blockade and rout the army.
It can do.
It's in Deus! Men of arms are Standing there!
Robert's forces scattered the king's army, leaving the gates to the castle unguarded. Robert's men finally united with Lincoln's garrison. They could now use the castle to strengthen their army. To lift the siege, they needed to destroy the enemy camps surrounding the castle.
Freckes haken, du hestes.
Asturende.
War of servant shet. Arre men, gongende es bären.
Ich habe ihn in the boat!
Toonfolk, aren't he ready?
Fusse tulkes, hestes. Heriente hestes. Freckes haken, heriente hestes.
In sperre, ja! Sperre men ja! Ja, testwindere! Sperre! Prestes kommer, arveimen!
War of servant shet. Have me bow. Verende.
Matilda's forces struck hard, destroying one of King Stephen's siege camps.
Ja, right to done some work. You'll then do that right to know. Arita, what needeth working?
Arita, what needeth worker? It he'll build that for they.
Dresset jou aanwijmen bij ons liefeli on the stirreth.
Nu, Tulkes, ich shall lay it down.
Under Arwisur!
Boa is de buvoliende hestes.
King Stephen's army dwindled as Matilda's forces struck down another siege camp.
Hestes en ooit boormen. Suer sig het. Weilet Marques arweimen.
Get thee ready for
Wegen
business.
sketen! Hestes en ooit boormen. Hestes kommer arweimen. Dresset jou arweimen. Hestes en ooit boormen. Jävligt hestes. Hestes en ooit boormen. Alexander en arweimen. Hestes kommer arweimen. En sweet hestes. Hästes enorm båmen! I kan det! Hästet kommer arvejmen! Herre hästes! Så det het! Fjärde hästes enorm båmen! Voljende hästes! Hästes kommer arvejmen! Keeper or masters båmen! Dresset jag arvejmen! Hästet kommer arvejmen! And sweeter, yes sir! Dresset jag arvejmen! Hästes enorm båmen! Hästes kommer arvejmen! Each arway hitter, shit. Asterias, Rathe arvejmen. Unde arvejras! Fjärde hästes. Svälta, vidare! And sweeter, yes sir!
The king's army was scattered, and those who didn't fall fled. King Stephen was spotted, shielded by his men. To end the siege, Matilda's forces needed to capture Stephen and rout his army.
Upp med färre arvejmen. Asterias, Rathe arvejmen. Wow! Herjende! Hässuande Yahweh! Herjende hästes! Jävel, streboa! I kamperende! Yahweh, Yahweh, men! Boa! Yahweh! Waros! Bollen jävel! I kan det du! Hästes en omgåmen! Well, Marcus Yahweh, men! Or Marcus Bomen! And sweeter, yes sir! Hästes kommer arvejmen. Keeper, Marcus Bomen. Hästes enorm båmen. Hästet kommer arvejmen. Dresset hästet kommer arvejmen. Fjärde hästen! Sila is mina!
Matilda's men closed in and finally captured King Stephen. Matilda's forces had won the battle at Lincoln. But the fight for the crown was not over yet.